Welcome, welcome, welcome to another session of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. We find ourselves in Seattle's misty, fog-shrouded streets. However, this isn't just any old fog. There's something unnatural happening here. A thick, voluminous fog has come in from the Puget Sound, smelling of rotten teeth and stale sweat. A fog that pools and eddies outside of doorways, but never flows into buildings, and still lingers despite sunlight. Of course, sunlight was quite a while ago. We find ourselves in the evening of a summer night in this thick, soupy fog, and our three investigators are in dire circumstances.
Are we? Oh, crap.
Good news! You are.
Good news, everyone.
Lies. There is no good news.
I mean, I have some good news. Depending on what you think of as good news.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the three of you are in that misty, fog-shrouded street, and you have just heard a panicked shrieking sound from a horse, seemingly going wild. And worse, you've heard the cackling laugh that could only belong to the Mare.
Oh, we're okay. All right. Cool.
Oh boy.
Audience, you can always tell it's good when you just hear that response from everyone of like, oh no.
This is fine. It's fine. Nothing can possibly
I'm
go
in
wrong here.
danger.
We find the three of you on the open road, moving down kind of the sawdust streets that make up Seattle's street system. Ahead of you is a parked carriage. It's possible in a pinch, if you needed to, you might be able to take cover behind that. But on either side is the rickety wooden sidewalks. Because it's Seattle, stacked with crates, piles of garbage, and even some drunken carousers who are seeming to try and fight the fog with copious amounts of beer and liquor.
It's worth a shot.
I've heard worse plans. And farther down the street, you see it. A panicked horse with a skeletal rider. There is a feminine shape on its back, but her skin is stretched tight and taut so that you can see her bones. Her hair is lanky and clinging to her. Her lips are peeled back, revealing blackened gums that have receded up, making her teeth pronounced. Her fingertips are blackened, like they've been covered in some kind of soot or oil. And they too have peeled backwards, giving her sharp, talon-like claws. One hand of which is bound up into the horse's mane. In some ways, most horrifying of all are her eyes. Because her eyes are beautiful. They are the color of blue of the sky in the middle of the day. Soft and gentle, and completely out of place on this twisted, monstrous face. And, my dear players, we find ourselves in combat.
Oh, no.
One quick question, just to make sure I'm remembering properly.
Mm-hmm.
We can see her.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, even if they were staring right at her, would not see her, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
So those drunken carousers will see a horse running around, but they will not see the terrifying creature riding it unless she wants them to.
Cool. Great. This is fine.
Totally.
Brian, remind me, you said because of the fog, ranged shots are they at a disadvantage or?
This is an excellent thing to go over. So this thick miasmic fog is going to have an effect. One that I'm definitely looking up right now. Because I'm super prepared. While you are in this fog, all force and vigilance tests will require one extra success. Generally, visibility is going to be limited to about 30 to 40 feet. Anything beyond that is going to be so hard to see that it's effectively blind.
Okay.
All right, and everybody is dealt out an initiative card. First up in the initiative, we have Dr. Jensen, then the Mare, who I think I may have confirmed the identity of, then Sofie, and then Julian.
And we are able to trade initiatives with each other?
I was just about to say. So if you'd like, you can swap your initiatives with another character.
Would you like to go first there, Julian?
Practically, yes. Story-wise, I don't feel like he's the one who's making the first move. So I will go ahead and hold where I'm at.
Okay.
In fact, I think it's actually perfect he's going last because he would be kind of just trying to pick his jaw up off the floor for a moment.
And Phoenix, you have helpfully reminded me of something very important.
Oh, dear God.
You know
I'm
how
so
I
sorry,
do.
everyone.
Seeing this horrifying sight in front of you, can I get a fear test from everybody?
Which is
now,
logic or empathy?
Logic or empathy. And the Mare is particularly frightening looking. So this is going to require 2 successes. But I do have some good news. You each get a +2 bonus on the roll because you have 2 allies in the same zone as you.
Okay. Here is where we roll the new dice. Now.
Thank you for our shiny new dice, Brian.
I don't remember how to do this, though. So it's your logic plus your...
Either your logic or your empathy.
Right.
+2.
And plus nothing else?
Plus nothing else.
Okay.
Unless you have a special talent that gives you a benefit against fear.
No. Oh my God.
Okay, so for me, that is 2 success on 7 dice.
Well, I definitely didn't get 2 because... Nope. 0 successes on 7 dice. I got 3 5s and no 6s.
I have 1 success on 7 dice.
Now, I will throw this out there. This is a roll you can choose to push if you'd like to. If you fail it, you will take 2 mental conditions and become terrified, which means that you will either have to faint, fight, freeze, or flee.
I'm just going to take the consequences. I don't feel like I know there's going to be consequences for failing the fear check, but the other consequences also seem bad, so...
Well, with this, I don't know if it's too late. Maybe I do then want to go ahead and go first.
You can go first if you'd like.
And Bill, do you want to push the roll, or are you good?
I feel like I'd push the roll. I think Dr. Lucius would be forcing himself to try and make heads or tails of this. So,
So the good news is you get to keep you get to reroll all the dice that did not get a success.
Okay.
So it's much easier to fish for your 1 extra.
Okay. So then, if it was 7, then I'd be rolling 6 if I got 1 success.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, then I'm just gonna roll all those. I got 1 more.
Hey.
Nice.
All right. So, Bill, you take 1 mental condition from pushing a mental roll. I'll let you choose what you get. Aaron, Sofie is going to take 2 mental conditions and become terrified. Would you like her to faint, flee, freeze, or fight?
Okay, so, sorry. Would I...
Shouldn't she only take 1 since she chose not to push the roll?
You got 0 successes, right?
Right.
Oh, pardon.
Yeah, I had 0. So, would I, the player, know that that's what happens when I fail a fear check like that, or...
Yes.
Okay.
So in this case, each creature in Vossen will have a fear value, which is the number of successes that you need to not become terrified, and also the number of conditions it'll inflict if you don't get any successes.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, if I know that I'm gonna take the 2 conditions either way, can I then go back? Can I push it instead?
I'd be fine if you push it.
Okay. Thank you.
Just keep in mind.
If there's a chance that I,
So does that mean if she rolls 0 successes again, she's going to take 3?
That is correct.
Ooh.
Damn.
If she rolls 1, she will only take 1 from the fear and become terrified then. Listener, you can't see Aaron's face right now, but it is priceless.
It is not amused.
I don't
She is
know.
far away from me, so she can't throw dice at me, but she looks like she really wants to and be like, here's your fear check. Ba-bam!
So I'll take 3 if I fail. I'm so good at failing.
You got this.
I just don't know. If I take 3, I'll be immediately broken, right?
You will not. So you only become broken when you take 1 after you've got 3.
All right. Whatever. I'm gonna do it. It's fine. New character. Who does? Well, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have to send me a gift receipt for these dice. Nope.
Oh no.
That's it.
No, 0 successes?
0 successes.
All right. Sofie takes 3 mental conditions. Bill, Dr. Jensen takes 1.
All right. He is angry.
All right. And Aaron, what is Sofie's fear response going to be? Will she flee, fight, faint, or freeze?
I think, I hate to do this to you, Sofie, but I think she's gonna faint.
Okay.
And I'll say, like, this is the only thing I can think of that would make her feel all of these things. I think for one split second, she looks at the Mare and the eyes remind her really strongly of her mother. So she has like this split second, like, oh my God, what if this is what happened to her? And just fucking flips her shit.
Just can't take it.
Yeah.
Can you roll a d6 for me?
Oh, I got plenty of D6s. They don't have a 6 side because they're defective.
Listener, they do have a 6.
3.
I really thought she was going to roll a 6 there.
Can't roll 6s, sorry.
All right, so we are using a special homebrew rule for fear effects, which I am referring to as cinematic fear, where instead of being affected by that fear condition for a D6 number of turns, you are affected by a D3 number of turns. So, Sofie will, you said freeze, right?
I said faint, but it's really not like Sofie to faint.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say freeze.
And do you think that was literally in your character concept of she's not one of those fainting damsels?
It's possible. It's possible.
So just freeze?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sofie is just like staring at this thing and can't move, and is stuck for 2 turns.
She might even kind of like go to her knees for a second and just like stare.
All right. Does anyone want to swap initiatives knowing what they know now?
Yeah, if Lucius is okay with it, I'll go ahead and swap up to the top of the order.
After you.
All right. Julian, you are up first. By the way, an important note for you. Just up the street from you, past that parked carriage, is a group of drunken revelers. If you enter the same zone as them, that's fine, but in order to leave the zone with them, you will need to make a force test. Also, because they're drunken carousers, they are going to move around from zone to zone every turn.
Goodness.
Awesome.
That's a fun mechanic, though.
Try to keep the zones interesting.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Julian, hearing the scream of the horse, seeing this terrifying woman in front of him, and then seeing Sofie freeze in place there, you just hear him with fuck under his breath And I'm going to go ahead and run up one zone to the parked carriage and try to gain some cover behind it. And then with my bag of rice that I brought, I'm going to go ahead and just yell over to the Mare, hey, how many are there? And I'm just going to go ahead and just throw a handful of rice in her direction.
Ooh, I had not seen that coming.
I mean, Brian, to be fair, Julian was carrying rice off.
I've been throwing rice everywhere. That is the one thing that is the one thing that Julian has absolutely taken from Sofie's teachings on Mare sociology and stuff.
So you throw just a fistful of rice into the zone that you're in. We will see what the Mare does on its turn.
I was trying to throw them into her zone.
Would it be into her zone? Okay. Yeah. Yep, that works.
Okay.
So you throw those into the spot that the Mare is in, and it's her turn. The horse that she is on is panicked. It's kind of bucking, and her eyes go laser focused on these grains of rice. She is going to make a test to try and not have to count them. We'll see if she can.
Make an OCD check.
Absolutely. No. She needs like 2 extra successes to make this work, right?
But all the rice is right there.
The horse kind of like bucks, but she's no longer paying attention to it. And she leaps from the back of this thing as the horse gallops forward. And she scrambles forward on all fours and just immediately starts like counting over these with her clawed fingers, kind of quickly clacking at the ground. You think you might have distracted her for this turn.
All right. And I am not able to move into an additional zone at this point, correct?
Nope. You have another fast action, but it is only for defense.
Right.
So that's for dodging or parrying.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
You also definitely lucked out because had you not done that, she was going to try and ride someone down.
It's fine.
And Sophie's just standing there like,
what the hell?
So this is happening.
So Sofie is up. Unfortunately cannot do anything since she is terrified, but that does use up one of her turns of being terrified. And Dr. Jensen.
Okay. There is a horse going nuts right next to Julian.
Just jumping through all this loose sawdust. Julian is kind of like half hiding behind a parked carriage.
Our Mare is busy counting rice. Thanks to Julian. And our resident know-it-all is stuck in the mud.
Stuck in the open road.
Sorry, yes, sitting in the mud. I guess Lucia's going to come over. Can I pick up Sofie? And I'm going to try and drag her to the parked carriage just to get her out of the way.
Yep, I would allow that.
So he'll move over. He will kind of pick up Sofie, put her arm over his shoulder, kind of lift her up. Right, Wolf, woman, what do you have in your dress?
Books. It's all books.
He's like, I would have put you at like 160 and you weigh like 250. What the hell's going on here?
Are your books reading rocks? What is that? He will pull her.
It's called a portable library.
Underneath his hair. Oh, and the cat. Yeah. So he will drag Sofie, trying to get her basically secured away behind the parked carriage to be undercover.
Perfect. And as you are dragging her, speaking of yorts, you just hear like a continuous string of cat sneezes happening.
Oh, poor yorts. He's suffering.
On account of the presence of the supernatural. All right. And that is our first turn of combat. Phoenix, you believe that your trick with the rice will work once. You do not think you will be able to distract her with it again.
That's fine. There's sawdust. I'll have her count sawdust instead.
You are up. What do you
do? Do our revelers move around?
Your revelers do move. Thank you for reminding me of that. And the revelers move around.
Okay. So we keep the same initiative?
Yep. That was something I goofed before. We originally had said, what's the point of swapping initiatives with the enemy? If you just reset them every turn. It turns out that's because I'm dumb and don't know how to read. It even says you deal them out at the start of combat, and then they stay there.
And now you know.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that. I was about to.
Okay. I'm just taking a look at my notes about mares here.
Mm-hmm. There's one thing that Julian might do, and I'm really hoping he tries it.
All right. I don't know if this is how it works, but Julian is just searching through his mind, trying to remember anything useful Sofie may have taught him about mares and what they're able to do. And he's thinking he's already thrown the rice. That looks like it's working for a little bit. He kind of looks through the rest of his possessions and catches his eye catches on the wine bottles that he has, because he is never without a bottle of Dom. All the better for making mimosas. I don't know if this is going to work, but this is what he's going to try. He's actually going to dump out one of the bottles, keeping the cork handy. And let me know if if I'm doing too much with this.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to also just try to pour several grains of rice into the bottle. And then, you know what? This is probably stupid, but I think it's what I'm going to try here.
Shotgun of confetti?
Go ahead. Didn't load the confetti rounds this time. He's actually going to go into the zone with the mare and kind of top the bottle. You missed a few in here.
Okay. You certainly have her attention. I don't think this is
going to go well, but what's that?
You certainly have her attention.
I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try.
Phoenix, can I get a manipulation test from you?
Sure.
It just occurred to me that Julian is the epitome of manipulate, mansplain, man-whore.
He's the triple man.
If I may, I think I'd like to use my advantage on this. Just as he charges in there, kind of fighting against his instincts, but just muttering under his breath over and over, this is not happening again. We are not reliving the past. So yeah, that would be adding 2?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see how we do here then. So this should be 11 dice. Let's see how we do. It's 1 success on the first 6 and 1 success. So 2 total.
Okay.
Nice.
You are not 100% sure if your plan is working, but as you've heard multiple times, you've definitely got her attention. I seem to keep saying...
It's fine.
I seem to keep saying when you interact with a Vasan, you don't know if your plan is working, but it's definitely watching you with interest.
Oh, yeah. This is great. All eyes on me. I'm a very beautiful fellow. I get it.
So Julian kind of leaps forward, this empty bottle of wine with some rice grains just rattling around in it, and steps forward in front of the mare. Its lips are all peeled back. Its gums are completely black, and it stares at you with those beautiful blue eyes.
I bat my beautiful brown eyes back at her.
Watches you for a second. And then, perhaps to everyone's shock, it lunges forward at Julian, not to attack him, but to kiss him. Phoenix.
Oh,
Consent, please.
Julian's not shocked that a woman wants to kiss him. Come on.
I have tragic news about what's going to happen here. It's the kind of thing that involves a saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get from dear Julian an observation test?
Sure. I can do that. I don't suppose. I don't think this will, but I'll ask. I don't suppose this would. The crystal ball would help, or my good luck charm. That is using observation to search for clues, and it's a +1 bonus.
Not in this instance.
I didn't think so. Had to ask. Okay, observation. 2 successes.
Okay.
I love these dice. I don't know, but mine seem to be working great.
Phoenix got all the ones with 6s on them.
Yep.
So, just a wave of sensation washes over you. And for a quick moment, you feel deeply protective of this creature. But that isn't right. That doesn't make any sense. This creature's attacking you. These thoughts that are flowing into your mind are not your own. And with that crystalline kind of realization, suddenly Julian's senses snap back. He realizes his hand was halfway to his pistol to try and protect this lady's honor from the rogues and rapscallions who are hiding just behind the nearby parked carriage. However, that will not happen here. This will not happen again. Julian, throughout the remainder of this mystery, you will gain 1 automatic success on any fear tests against the Mare in the future.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I just look back at her, kind of focusing on the eyes, on the beautiful part of this terrifying visage, and just, I said consent, please, if it's all the same to you.
You realize she's not looking at you. She's looking past you, seeming to stare at something behind Julian.
Do I have the time to look around at it?
Yeah, you can do that as a free action.
I turn my head to look.
Oh, is it the drunks or something?
Nope. There's nothing behind you. And she suddenly hisses in a feral way and goes scrambling away from you towards the parked carriage.
Uh-oh.
And that's her turn.
My turn is over, but I just, as she leaves, I just, again, kind of tap on the empty bottle with the rice on it. Hey, get back here.
Sofie is up, still frozen, but that is the last turn of that. And Dr. Jensen, you're up. What are you going to do? There is a mare looming on the other side of this carriage.
The mare would have to, would the mare have to go around the carriage, or is it the mare able to get to Sofie from the other side, I guess?
She would be able to get at either of you since she's in the same zone. But you can kind of take cover and dodge behind the carriage, so it'll give you a little bit of defense.
I am just going to cut her off. And can I don't think I want to grapple her. I don't think I'm strong enough.
You could try and just punch her.
Yeah, I will put on my knuckle dusters and take a swing.
All right. It is a fast... Now, an important note here. It is a fast action to move within your zone, and it is a fast action to draw a weapon.
Oh.
So you can either kind of interpose yourself between the Mare and Sofie, or you can pop the knuckle dusters on and then take a swing at her.
If that's the case, I will...
Do what you gotta do, Bill.
I could try to defend, and one easy way to do that would be to piss her off, which would be to take a swing at her.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll put on the knuckle dusters and take a swing at her.
All right.
He's already mad. He's mad.
He's coming out swinging.
He's just gonna come out swinging. Yeah.
He's Dr. Punch Fist. All right. For that, knuckle dusters are... We're going to modify this one. They're going to use force in place of close combat.
Okay.
So roll your physique plus force plus 1. Because it just makes sense that that's not a melee weapon. That's a punching weapon.
That is...
Oh, and she will attempt to dodge this as well.
Out of rolling 7 dice, 1 success.
All right, we'll see if her dodge helped her any. 0 successes.
All right.
Woo! I love that me and Phoenix did this.
Participating! All right, so
Yeah.
Dr. Jensen slips on his knuckle dusters and goes to do no harm to her face.
Okay. The best way to prevent wounds is to stop the thing causing wounds.
Prevention is the only cure. Ba-bam! So you wind up and just punch this creature. You got 1 success, right?
Correct.
So you just do damage. And the damage from the knuckle dusters is, I believe, +1.
Yep.
So she takes 2 damage. Bill, you said your goal was to make her angry, right?
To keep her focused, not on Sofie.
Excellent. Her current condition is angry.
Makes 2 of us. Let's dance.
All right, and that was Dr. Jensen's turn. The carousing drunks are up. You hear at least some of the drinkers be like, "Look at that horse!" And they can't wander into the crates, so they wander towards the parked carriage.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
You hear people shouting questions like, "Is this thing open? I want to go to another bar. Has anyone seen my wallet?"
Is this my lift or?
We don't have those yet. It's a history lift. All right. Julian, you are up.
Okay. What do I do? I have no idea if this is actually working or not, but I'm just gonna keep trying to do what I'm doing. I will walk back into the zone with the Mare and everyone else, real crowding in there now, and I will, as she's reeling from getting socked in the face, I will just as calmly as I can, and you need to listen. I need you to listen to me. And I again hold up the empty champagne bottle. You missed a few. You need to go inside and count.
As you do that, the creature again kind of snarls and hisses at you. But now, it takes on a slightly different tone. Those eyes, which moments ago were furious at Dr. Jensen, snap to you as you drop her name. Anything else from Julian?
I mean, I'd say I'm holding an action to, shove the cork back in the bottle if she jumps in, but I have no idea if she's actually going to do that. Doesn't seem likely, but it's what I'm going for.
And I have some good news and some bad news for you. The good news is you are partially successful.
Okay.
Looking between the 3 of you as Sofie is now kind of shaking things off, the crowd of revelers is all around you, drunkenly celebrating and sloshing beer mugs. Her eyes are whipping back and forth between you, the bottle, Dr. Jensen, Sofie. Suddenly, she steps backwards and her whole body turns into smoke. But rather than flowing into the bottle, she floats upwards and disappears into the mist.
Ah, shit.
Damn it, that was good champagne.
I know.
You do believe you will at least be safe from the Mare for now.
Well, yeah, but we've probably lost our chance to change her back.
We had to wait until morning if that was going to happen. That's why I was trying to keep her quite literally bottled up. Then.
I know.
Yeah.
The horse goes galloping down the road, now at least seeming to not be still frightened, but settling down somewhat. The crowd of drunken revelers has seen none of this and had no idea how close to danger they just came. Sofie and Dr. Lucius are able to see that across Julian's mouth is a stain of oily black residue where she kissed him.
Julian, you might, and I'll hand him a handkerchief I have. Just...
Yeah, I take it. I kind of sag down a little bit. I was hoping it would work. I knew it was a long shot, and yeah, clean myself up.
Sofie sort of...
You all right?
She's still... Her main thing now is like she's irritated at herself. Because logically she knows that this has nothing to do with her personally or, anyone that she knows. And she just goes and like sort of leans against the carriage and she reaches her hand in her pocket and she just holds her mother's journal for a second and just kind of touches the cover. And she's just grumbling to herself like, God, I didn't even help you guys or anything. I just stood there.
And as Sofie kind of takes a moment, she suddenly feels something shoulder check her leg. And then a loud purring starts up from Yortz.
Oh, it seems that she's actually gone. So that's good to know.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about mares. Are they able to... I thought you had mentioned that they're not... The person who's become a mare is not aware of that. But the creature seemed to react when
Correct.
You, Julian, used her name. So maybe Anne is still in there?
She's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she left, because she was... Maybe you sort of made her fight against herself and she didn't trust that she was in total control. The Mare itself, I mean. So...
Yeah. One can hope.
One important detail I will also bring up. The way that someone becomes a mare is a curse is laid upon them, where a restless spirit possesses them by night. So it's almost like someone else is piloting them and controlling them by the evenings.
But that couldn't be another live human person.
A spirit, a deceased person.
Okay.
As far as you know.
Basically, she's possessed at night, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
By someone. Dead.
Do
you all press on to reach our house hotel?
I'll give Sofie a minute to do whatever she needs and try to gather my own thoughts. And whenever we're ready.
Is the fog and more importantly, the smell still persisting even though the Mare has left?
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting. Is it worth, do we think that the drunkards would be worth speaking to at all? I just wonder, I mean, I guess we can talk to anybody when we get to the hotel, but I wonder if this has been happening in this area frequently, like if this is they're kind of used to like the fog and everything, or if this is new here.
You know this is new.
Okay.
Julian would have heard about this coming in, because this got to Madame Lou's.
Right.
And y'all haven't heard about anything like this.
Okay. I just wondered if it was like, my thinking was maybe it was it originated there where she was staying, and then it's spread out every night since then, and that's why it finally reached Madame Lou's and so on and so forth. But if that's not the case, then never mind.
It almost seems like it rolled in off the water itself.
Interesting.
So what you're saying is Tumble Tom is the mayor.
All right, so in answer to Aaron's question, you don't think talking to these drunks is going to get you much.
Okay.
They are pretty incoherent, as only drunken lumberjacks could be.
Okay. I would say if everyone's feeling better, we should probably press on to the hotel. At least to get out of this fog.
Yep.
Hello, dear listeners! It's your favorite editor here, Hannah. Brian has lost his voice this week, either due to a curse from the Vossen, or from a terrible cold. But he asked me to swing by and tell you about a cool new show that you've got to check out. The show is called The Stranger by Roll for Impact, and it's like nothing else you've ever seen. It's a live-streamed D&D actual play show, but instead of seeing the actors on video, we see their characters' art in a beautiful stained glass style. Images light up and move whenever the player speaks, and the show has full soundscapes and incredible production quality. They just wrapped up their second season of this D&D 5e show, so it's a great time to hop in and check them out. Episodes drop every Friday on all major podcatchers, but for the full experience, go see them on YouTube at youtube.com/@rollimpact and give it a watch for yourself.
Greetings, heroes. I'm Wes, the dungeon master behind The Stranger, the most cinematic Dungeons & Dragons 5e adventure you'll ever experience. Listen to this short clip and hear D&D like you've never heard before.
They're down there. Not in a good state.
Let's go then.
I agree. Let's skedaddle.
An insidious and dark rumble start to emanate through these caverns above you. Roll an athletics saving throw.
That is a dirty 1.
Dr. Glass, it's all crumbling around you. What are you doing?
Dying, probably.
Or, in case you prefer not to die,
I probably will try to talk to the mountain with my mind. Stop that. Genius look. she showed the little ankle.
Let her seduce the boulder.
What should I call you?
Call me the good doctor.
Good doctor. You're empty now.
For more D&D like this, find us at thestrangerpod.com, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening.
Deeper into Seattle's seedy downtown, you spot warm light spilling from a large 3-story building. A small circle of light extends from a half-dozen hurricane lanterns hanging outside, which light up the wooden sign reading, "Our House." The fog pools and swirls, but it seems to be avoiding getting too close into that circle of light and warmth. As you push open the doors, a little bell rings with a light tinkling chime. You're greeted by the good smells of sizzling steak and boiling potatoes, a refreshing change from the foul stink outside. A small restaurant and bar fills much of the room, where people laugh, clink glasses of beer, and make sure to sop up the very last bit of gravy on their plates with the crusts of steak sandwiches. A giant of a man, easily 6.5 feet tall and weighing over 400 pounds, notices your entry and sidles away from the kitchen. He waves over one of the other cooks and wipes down his hands on his stained white apron. He makes his way to the front desk, set before a number of reinforced, locked mailboxes set into the wall, before removing his apron. He beams and jovially asks, "Some fog out there, huh, folks? Now, welcome to our house. How can Big Bill help you out? You here for food, rooms, mail, or all three?"
I just met you and I love you.
I know, right?
Is that in character, Phoenix?
It is. I mean, it is, but he doesn't say it. But it's totally in character.
Big Bill just kind of beams at you.
Julian's got those anime, like the close-up huge eyes with like the sparkles in them.
So this is more table talk. We're here because Father Prefontaine was down here as
Father Ryder. He's another priest who works out of the church.
Prefontaine sent us here.
Ryder. Sorry, we talked to Prefontaine. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Getting them mixed in my head.
You also know one other important piece of information. This is where Anne was staying.
Right. Okay. That was, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess if Julian looks smitten,
I mean, it's Julian. It doesn't take much.
He's not wrong.
Lucius will go, well, we're sort of looking for a room, but we're more looking for seeing if you know where Father Ryder might be.
Father Ryder? Yeah, he's right over that way. And he kind of gestures towards the little seating area with the bar. And after just a second of looking, you spot a priest amidst the group who's raising up a glass of beer and talking to some people. He comes in here most nights.
Oh, okay. And then we are looking into the disappearance of someone we think might have been staying here. A girl named, I want to say Ann Miller, but I know that's not the right one.
And Eric's daughter.
Eric's daughter, yes.
Yeah. Have you... Tall.
Yeah, I know Anne. She was living here with her aunt, up in room 237.
Is her aunt still here?
And Bill kind of winces a little. I'm afraid she passed away.
Oh, wait, we knew that. We knew that from Madame Lou.
By the way,
yeah.
Can I get a quick vigilance test from you all?
That's 0 successes on 4 dice for Julian.
Okay. Phoenix, that's for the best for you.
Oh, shit. Why you gotta be like that?
You know how I do.
0 successes on 4 dice. I don't
Excellent.
have 6s on these dice. I'm just saying.
I'm waiting for when it goes all the way back around and Erin gets so mad at physical dice, she goes back to roll 20's digital dice.
It's gonna happen.
That's the darkest timeline.
Right?
That's only 4 dice.
No.
It's because, sorry.
You just rolled your logic, not your...
I was trying to be smarter than roll 20 and I failed miserably.
I know that feeling well.
Well, see, that one that I just rolled.
Bill, feel free just to roll your vigilance.
Okay.
Hey.
I feel like that's cheating, but I got 1 success on 5 dice.
Take the win.
I am not going to argue against it. I just said I just feel like I'm cheating.
All right. And Bill, I am sending you a quick message in Discord. You see a poster on the wall with a crude drawing and that message. Would you be so kind as to read that poster's text for our listeners?
Missing Cotton Dobson will pay money for information if he is found. His wife and children miss him. Speak to Margaret Dobson at our house hotel with news.
All right. So you spot that kind of old, worn handbill that's been put up. It's hanging near the stairs where people would have to pass by it to get up to the rooms. It looks pretty ratty and like it's been there for quite some time.
But Big Bill, right?
Oh, yeah.
How long has Cotton Dobson been missing?
Cotton? Oh, that's been a while now. I think he's been missing a little over half a year.
Wow.
What are you asking about? So, because Lucius is the only one who saw the handbill, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of arch an eyebrow at this. What the hell are you asking about that fucker for?
Just saw a handbill, got curious. Sorry.
And at your expression, Big Bill kind of thumbs over his shoulder and points out the handbill that's nailed to the wall. And so the two of you were able to spot it as well.
Big Bill, do you think we'd be able to go take a look in Anne's room? If it's still...
So, since her aunt passed, she hasn't really been around. She's a good girl, and I'd like to help her if I could, but, gotta be honest, she ain't paid any rent in the last month. If y'all want to help her, can I get from one of you a manipulation test?
I know who that's doing that.
Yeah, go for it, Aaron.
Before you say that, this will be one of the manipulation to purchase something tests.
Okay, well, I was just going to ask him how much she owes.
Effectively, 1 capital's worth.
Okay.
So you can make a manipulation test with a bonus equal to your wealth, based on the chart from the Vossen core book on page 73.
So, I'm sorry, what is my current wealth right now? I think it's...
Phoenix, I think yours is financially stable. Is that right? Or are you 5 for middle class?
Well, it's resources 4. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you are financially stable and you have a +1 bonus on this kind of purchasing stuff roll.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and... unless one of you would like to do so.
My empathy is... my dump stat.
No, no.
Yeah, Lucius, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. It'll be another time. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do this. So with a +1 bonus?
Okay. Yep.
So 4 + 5, so that'll be 10 dice.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sofie is now officially, I believe, well off, which does give her a +2 bonus, but that is somewhat offset by the condition penalties.
And not to mention, I have 0 manipulation.
Also fair.
That is 1 success on the 10 dice.
So Julian's got the cash on hand that you and Bill kind of talk through what the back rent is, and yeah, you can afford that.
And so we're able to do that without actually spending the capital, is the idea?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Nice. I was just going to give him my money.
So he's just like, fine, throws money.
So giving him the money is the alternative. So if you didn't get any successes, you could spend 1 capital for an automatic success.
Right.
This looks like a job for the money gun.
She keeps it next to that portable library. That's why she's so heavy.
So Big Bill is willing to let you guys check out Anne's room, since you seem to be friends of hers. However, he is going to come with you just to make sure that nothing valuable gets taken out of her room.
Oh, yeah, you're more than welcome to join us, Bill. Can I call you Bill?
Of course you can. My name's Big Bill Grose.
Big Bill Grose.
Oh, now come on, let's get up there.
Julian is quite smitten with his laughter.
I am delighted by this. All right, so you all head up to Anne's room.
Yeah, I watch him go up before me.
He does fairly well at filling up the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
He is at least 6'4" and just like a mountain of a man. He takes you up to room 237. He unlocks the door with a key on a ring that he carries with him and kind of motions for you all to step inside.
Yeah, I go in.
Anne's room smells slightly musty, and there are signs of sudden, hasty packing that were done. Dressers have been opened and emptied. A few items of clothing are scattered about, and there are a few decorations. And what there are mostly kind of flowers and plants that have wilted after not being watered for almost a month. At the foot of the large bed is a steamer trunk, and you notice that hasn't been opened. So while the dressers have been rummaged through and things have been pulled out in a hurry, the steamer trunk was just left alone. And you also spot a trifold handbill over on the nightstand.
I'll go check out the handbill.
Yeah, just as we go in and as Sofie starts looking around, I'm just going to casually ask Big Bill. Mr. Big Bill, by any
Big
chance,
Bill,
did Anne ever mention someone named Thomas or maybe Arthur?
Thomas, she mentioned. She was real sweet on that boy.
He ever come by much?
Never ever. I heard her talking about him a few times, though. She said quite a bit about him to her aunt, Joanna.
Do you know what happened? You mentioned, and I kind of lower my head respectfully. You mentioned Joanna passed. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to her?
It was some kind of sick. Terrible, terrible cough. And she seemed to just have the strength just disappearing out of her. I'm afraid I'm no doctor. I can cook a mean steak and I can sling some potatoes, but I don't know much about medicine.
Well, those are two very important qualities. Being able to cook a good steak, there's a lot of doctors couldn't do that.
And Lucius is like, I'm right here.
I look over my shoulder. Yes, I know. I've seen you cook a steak.
So, go ahead.
You.
I was just gonna say, so table talk. Are we wondering? Maybe we're all on the same page. I don't know. Wondering if perhaps whoever did this, I still suspect that it's the guy's mom, could have somehow done something to the aunt in order to use her spirit to control Anne as the mayor, because a spirit of a person has to be the one that possesses her. So it might make sense that the aunt suddenly died and then the mayor appears.
And Big Bill can share her Aunt Joanna was sick for quite a long time. She was unwell when they first moved in.
Well, so the mare is formed via a curse either through the use of witchcraft during childbirth or from an unmarried woman who died longing for the warmth and intimacy of another. So does that describe Auntie Joanne? I mean, not that we know of yet, right?
Not that you know of yet.
Do we?
So
we don't. He wouldn't know. He doesn't know if she was like a widow
wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
He knows that she didn't have any gentleman callers,
that would have
but
been
she was also
question.
very sick and mostly confined to her bed. Sofie takes a look over at that pamphlet that's on the nightstand. It advertises the Wilderness Heights Sanitarium.
Oh, Jesus.
In nearby Olalla, Washington, run by Dr. Linda Hazard. It promises to cleanse the body and settle the mind through the power of fasting.
Okay. Do we think that maybe she's checked herself in there because she thinks she's gotten some mental derangement? Because, of course, she doesn't know what's going on, so...
I mean, well, we know she's not there.
How?
I kind of move my eyes at Big Bill and then back to you. We can, I mean, I think we saw her that one time out on the street with the horse.
Oh, that's right. Yes, of course. I've forgotten about that. Do you mind if we borrow this, or would you prefer if I just write down the information just in case?
Oh, I think that's fine. You could feel free to have that.
Thank you. I will... Can I So in the last episode, Julian had given both of us a little bag of rice out of his stash.
Yep.
Can I sort of, as we're leaving, but like I don't want obviously Big Bill to see me because he's gonna be like, the fuck are you doing? I just want to leave the little bag of rice on the nightstand.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Because I'm thinking, like, I mean, this is a huge long shot, but if she happened to come back here and we had to
confront the Mare again,
her here, then maybe, you know, like in the morning, then maybe.
Do we want to try and open the?
And is there anything else you want to search or do in the room?
The steamer trunk.
The steamer trunk.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask my new friend Big Bill if he would mind.
As long as you're not going to take anything from it.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Y'all don't suppose she went to that sanitarium there, do you?
It's hard to say. Maybe we'll learn more in here.
The steamer trunk is unlocked.
I check it for traps.
We finally remembered. But it's not trapped.
Yeah, I will actually, I'll go ahead and take a peek in there. As I kind of kneel down to open it up, my eyes are mostly fixed on Big Bill, but I will go ahead and flip it open.
Inside are a few dresses in a much older kind of cut and style. And there's a lot of books. I half expected Aaron's head to suddenly like pop up like, go on.
You don't say.
Julian is knocked over as Sofie hip checks him out of the way.
Yeah.
with what's in her dress, that's a hard check.
Seriously. No, it's like I hold up, well, this is pretty. And then like I get the first book like 3 inches above the lip of the steamer trunk.
So, Phoenix, you actually vaguely recognize a few of these titles because they're ones you've seen in the library.
Oh ho ho!
And as Sofie quickly is able to confirm, these are all books on the occult.
Well, that's unusual.
Now, I will also throw this out there for you all. If you wanted to, you could also make an investigation check in this room.
Yeah,
to see if there's anything else to uncover.
Before
leaving?
Julian. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and make one. Let's see if I can actually...
Is that one person or we're all doing that?
You can all make them.
It's 1 success on 3 dice for Julian.
Okay.
1 success on 6 dice for Lucius.
1 success. One of these dice does in fact have a 6 face. So 1 success on 5 dice.
Listener,
8.
I assure you, all of these dice do have 6s.
No, they don't, Brian. You just...
I checked them before I sent them.
Something happened.
I would never send Aaron a faulty gift. So, the 3 of you, almost like clockwork, each realize, okay, if we've got a chest full of occult books, where would you hide something suspicious? Under that. So you 3 kind of push the steamer trunk out of the way, and there's a loose floorboard. Pulling it up, underneath, wrapped in black silk cloth, is another book. A book with a black leather cover. Sofie gives it a very quick scan, and it is all handwritten and purports to be a transcribed copy of selections from the Grand Grimoire, a book of magical spells allegedly provided by the devil himself. And there's something else in the book. Tucked into the cover is a letter. Bill, I haven't dragged you into reading anything yet. Do you want to read the contents of this letter?
Sure. My darling Anne, I wish I had more time to tell you all the things I haven't had a chance to do so. I can feel my death coming. Time is short, as it is for all of us. I don't know if I will even have the heart to share this letter with you, but that boy's betrayal is unforgivable. A curse, Joanna's revenge from beyond the grave. If they can't save my light, let these damn books at least see my Anne avenged.
Ho, ho, ho! Well, I was way off.
Not way off. Just a little off.
So her aunt cursed her?
Well, I think she did it to empower her.
Yeah.
Versus I thought it was done maliciously against Anne herself, but it seems that her aunt was trying to empower her to get vengeance on Thomas for breaking his vows.
So Thomas, breaking his promise of them running away, right?
Right.
Or getting married and all that.
Yeah, Thomas wanted to run away with her. I'm pretty sure Agatha is the one who broke that up.
Uh-huh.
So it may not have been entirely at his, but wasn't his plan to do so.
Right.
But it happened.
But Anne wouldn't know that, but she would tell her aunt.
Exactly.
And okay. So how do we lift this curse if the aunt is passed?
We know how to lift the curse. We just need to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, to do that, maybe if we player talk, I wonder if we can go check the sanatorium. If we can find her, then maybe we can convince her of something and be able to restrain her over the night until the morning so that we can lift the curse in the morning.
Well, at night she turns into the Mare, and the Mare can turn into black mist.
Right, but as we saw, Phoenix or Julian had a possible solution for that. So if we account for that when we restrain her.
And this is Phoenix using current day map knowledge. Olala is not nearby. That's going to be...
Oh, okay.
That's, yeah.
However, one important thing that you've already witnessed, when in that mist form, the Mare can travel very, very fast.
Ah, shit.
The other option would be to try to go to Thomas's place and hope that she turns up there. But again, we have to decide which one of those things, to try to find her directly or to bank on her going back to Thomas, which we don't think that she's done the whole time.
I think Julian might be onto something. If we travel to go see Anne, that might be our best bet to try and stop the Mare from wreaking more havoc.
I'm actually the one that said that, but yes.
Oh, my apologies. I thought... Sorry, my apologies. I thought Phoenix had said that... Anyway, I got things mixed up. My Sofie, so I think Sofie is correct.
Now, a couple of important questions for you. Are y'all planning on taking that book with you?
That depends on how much Julian can schmooze Big Bill.
Yeah.
I think that would be my plan, if for no other reason than to bring it to the library.
That will definitely take a manipulation test to get him to believe that bringing that book is going to help Anne in some way.
Okay. So, manipulation test?
Mm-hmm.
Can I assist him in any way?
Yep. Both you and Lucius could assist with a +1 bonus.
Okay.
Okay, so that's empathy plus manipulation +2?
Correct. Unless you got some equipment you want to throw in.
Well, I drained the wine, unfortunately.
The fine wines.
Yeah.
Lucius has a bottle of liquor, not to be mixed up with the strong poison.
Not to be.
Yeah, don't mix those up.
It's fine. You carry them in different pockets. They'll never get confused.
Just don't flip your coat inside out.
That is 4 successes on 11 dice.
Woo! We own the
Big
hotel now.
Bill loves you.
I love him
He's
too.
gonna put you in his pocket.
we told Julian to go flirt him up, and Julian's like, "I got this."
You have called the rightest man for the job.
You go to ask Julian to flirt with, and Julian is already flirting with him.
I mean, that's Julian's standard MO, though. Yeah, you start schmoozing Big Bill, and he is just a big sweetheart with some non-zero level of Halcyon vibes. So,
oh, buddy.
You two just immediately hit it off.
So
he is
so he's a bear, is what you're saying.
I think we already knew that.
I'm neither confirming nor denying. Big Bill, however, absolutely believes you that you've got Anne's best interest at heart. If taking this weird book that was hidden in his floor is going to be what it takes to help her, then absolutely.
I give him a little kiss on the cheek.
You have to stretch a little to get up there, and you just hear like, oh, shucks.
I do have to stretch a little to get up there, so I just kind of pull his neck down by his shirt collar.
Oh,
y'all are gonna make me blush.
So cute.
All right, we are nearing the end of our episode, so we've got a couple things to quickly wrap up. You've honestly got most of the information that Father Ryder would have given you. So
I totally forgot about Father Ryder.
Yep, he was here too.
Yep.
So just to quickly confirm, if you kind of check in with him, he absolutely remembers Anne, and it was a pretty sad story. She had talked to him about giving up the profession and was planning on marrying a young man named Thomas Miller, but he stood her up on the wedding day.
Oh,
Ooh.
damn.
He just
Are we sure we need to cure this curse? Maybe we should just let her kill him.
He just completely no-showed Anne when she was in her dress waiting and everything.
Ouch.
And a few days after that, her aunt passed away.
Wow.
Okay.
And something in her after that just broke.
Aww.
And after that, he did not see her again. He can also confirm the address for the Millers up on Cap Hill, so you'd be able to find that if you make your way up there.
There is something I would like to do, actually, just as we are exiting Anne's room.
Before you exit, there is one other important thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Julian, you have been awake for, at this point, about probably pushing 30 hours. Because you were at the end of a full day of work when you had to run over to the library.
That's fair.
So you are feeling it at this point.
I think Big Bill should sweep you up in his big manly arms and go lay you down for a nap.
Additionally, Sofie has 3 conditions.
Right.
And y'all are at a hotel. Do you want to just rent rooms while you're here?
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Sofie needs a drink or 12.
And probably some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I would want to do that, but we need to be up bright and early, and we need to figure out where she's gonna be. I mean, can it wait another day? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think we can catch her tonight. I mean, I'm not saying I know I'm against trying. I kind of assumed that there's no way we don't have enough time to like plan or prepare anything to try to get her tonight. Because it's going to take us a while to get to Olala if we are trying to go out there, right?
That's the thing is I don't feel like I know where she is going to wake up. Telephones are not a thing at this time, are they, Brian? Telegraph?
20 more years.
Telegraphs are available, but they don't go everywhere. So like you don't have a telegraph office in Ballard. There's definitely not one in Olala.
Yeah, I was just about to say chances are slim that it would be. All right. I mean, here's I guess what I will say. So as a player, I will go with what the group decides. As Julian would actually be willing to push through the pain. he knows that he doesn't have a plan. Like, I don't know how we get to Olala. I don't know if that's where we need to be. But I feel like I have to do something.
How far away is it?
It's going to be a boat ride.
But I mean, like in time, what amount of time do we need to take to get from where we are to Olala?
That is something you would have to look into down at the docks. But in normal conditions, there should be boats that are going between Seattle and Tacoma, and they'd easily be able to stop at Olala. However, with the fog that's out, it's hard to say if any are going to be running. So you might have to do a little searching around town.
So assuming everything went our way, is it even possible to get there before sunrise?
Before sunrise. Yeah, that's what I was getting at too. Is like, is there even any way?
Before sunrise, no.
Okay.
Julian wouldn't be happy about it. He'd be trying to figure out some way that he can just do something. But,
the only place I think we could go would be Capitol Hill, but it would take a while to get up there from where we are now. And I don't know how responsive a house would be if we start banging on the doors at. Yeah.
What are the effects of like the equivalent of exhaustion within this game?
So you have to make a force test, and if you fail, you get a physical condition.
Okay.
Or you could choose to just like crash, basically. Throwing it out there, everybody's got some conditions. Yeah, you are all in a little bit of rough shape.
Okay. That's fine. I guess we can I yeah. Okay. I'll see if I can room with Bill.
You're supposed to sleep, Julian.
No, he's supposed to rest.
Now.
That's different.
Well, still.
So Big Bill is actually currently charging an incredibly minuscule amount to stay here for the night. Far less than what these accommodations would warrant on account of the fog that's outside. Y'all get the sense that he's trying to not turn people away.
Aww.
Now, a question. Are you guys going to get one room that could hold all three of you, or three separate rooms?
I mean, let's do...
I legit might try to crash with Big Bill.
Let's do 2 rooms. And me and Yorts and the doctor can stay in one, and Julian in the other, just in case.
And Julian in the other, if he needs it.
Just, yeah.
Wait. No. I feel like it should be you get a room, I get a room, and Julian's left to roll the dice with
find his own devices.
Yeah, I'll knock on one of your rooms if things don't go well, but I think I'll be all right. Don't wait up.
Phoenix?
Yes.
I have some good news for you and some bad news for you.
Oh.
Big Bill is intrigued. However, it is unfortunately a working night for him. So, he is not going to be able to take you up on any offers tonight.
Well, Bill, I like the way you work it. No diggity.
Stake it up. So the three of you make your way up to floor number 3.
Well, pardon. There is still one thing that I wanted to do before. So as we are leaving Anne's room, and I'm assuming it'd probably be Sofie who's carrying the book.
Safe assumption, if ever I heard one.
I mean, if you've got a spare pocket.
Unlikely.
But I
can make room. Don't worry.
I do want to try to get Big Bill kind of off to the side, like as Lucius and Sofie are exiting the room. I just kind of want him to hang around for just one moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did want to ask him, my friend, I noticed the handbill downstairs about that what was it, Cotton, and that his his wife Margaret was. What's their room? Is it okay if I ask what room Margaret is in?
Yeah. Margaret's down on 105.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a rough situation. I don't think they have much money left, and She and those kids are looking more desperate by the day.
By all accounts I'd heard he was kind of an ass.
Well, you gotta be something of an ass to run out on your wife and kids and just leave them behind.
Yeah. When he was around, did he treat him okay? As far as you knew?
It wasn't much, but he at least kept a roof over their heads. I've been letting some rent slide, but sooner or later I do need to get paid. I mean, I want to help the girl, but I do run a business.
The girl meaning Margaret?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
He claps you on the shoulder.
I beam up at it.
It's a very Julian move.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's what I needed to know.
Of course. So the three of you are headed upstairs to your rooms on floor 3. And just as you are making your way up to that top hallway, you hear a little rattling sound coming from Julian's violin case.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now what?
And then, slowly, it begins to play on its own. And from inside of the case, you hear the song, A Bonny Bunch of Roses.
What?
Can I get a fear test from everybody?
No, Brian. No, you can't. You can't get a fear test from me.
Yes,
Too
absolutely. But so where is this happening?
From your violin case that is at your side, in the middle of the hallway, up on the 3rd floor of the hotel.
Okay.
As the kind of group of you were heading off to at least store your things.
And do we have like a +2 since we're all together then?
Yes, you do. And some of you have minuses due to conditions. Some of you are Aaron. And Bill.
Very nice. Are you going to call me out like that?
Because you got 3 conditions.
Man, that's 3 successes on 7 dice.
Phoenix, you can't play with us anymore.
Yeah.
You're too good at this game.
Hey, blame yourself. These
You
are
found
your
your
dice,
rhythm.
man.
They were a gift.
I love these dice.
I am gonna push that.
Now, Bill, I will throw this out there. If you fail the fear test, you will gain 1 mental condition, and you will become terrified, but that will pass pretty quickly. If you push the roll, you will gain a mental condition, and you might still wind up failing. Up to you if you want to push it, though.
Like, there's no point, because you're going to take at least 1, and if you push it, you might take more.
Yeah, okay. That's a fair point.
But you might avoid something like fainting that Julian will make fun of you for later.
That's fair. Speaking of which, I got 0 successes on 4 dice. So
That's what I love to hear.
Yeah, no,
Yep, I know you do.
I'm pushing it.
All right. Aaron, you have finally done something that I have been waiting this whole time for.
I know, Brian.
You have finally broken the seal and broken a character.
Yep.
Would you roll a D66?
I pushed it on 6 dice. I still did not get a success. I am one of you guys now.
Yeah, for sure. Phoenix is no longer in the club, though.
It's the dice he gave me.
I don't understand. How did Phoenix get magic dice and I got dud dice?
You should go back to rolling digitally.
If she could punch to the left, she would right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely the case. And speaking of punching, Sofie has become mentally broken and has gained an injury.
Right.
She has gained the injury fighting and screaming.
This is
Tonight has been too much for Sofie. And she is fucking beyond her limit of this shit. As I think Aaron is close to being as well.
That seems fair, yeah.
Oh, no.
And Bill, which of the terrified conditions do you take? Do you faint, fight, freeze, or flee?
I will freeze.
So Dr. Jensen is just staring at this violin case that is playing on its own. Sofie just screams and starts just flailing at people, being just beyond how much she can tolerate this fucking nonsense.
She just walks and, like, opens and then slams the door. Like, maybe there's people in that room. She doesn't know and
just
doesn't care.
Slamming it over and over and over again. You will be able to recover from this, but it's going to take a little time.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving Dr. Jensen's just kind of, like, pressed against the wall, just bracing himself.
I am not afraid, but it is... So it's playing A Bonny Bunch of Roses?
Mm-hmm.
Just in the middle of the hallway, Julian just falls to his knees and starts crying.
So we have one of our party members is just full 80s rock star, destroying the hotel in the hallway.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
We have a doctor who is just frightened and staring at a violin case that is playing music.
That is seemingly playing itself.
And then we have another who is just then sits down presumably beside said violin case, and just starts crying. We are a sight to behold on the 3rd floor.
Poor Big Bill. He's
he's downstairs. He's still manning the...
Thank God. Thank God.
If I have the time to do so, I will attempt to open it up. You
do. And you, for just a moment, watch the strings plucking themselves. And then they stop. And then slipping out from under the frets is a small piece of paper that just falls open at your feet.
Before I even look at the paper, I just lay my hand on the strings and just...
They immediately go still.
Quietly, under my breath, I miss you.
And that piece of paper just falls in front of Julian. Phoenix, can you read that for us?
Yeah, there is a note that smells overwhelmingly of roses and rot. It says, "The sins of the father are not laid upon the children. Help them."
And that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
Oh, man.
We will see what happens next time.
What? What the crap?
Thanks for my new dice, Brian. I love you.
Thanks for my new dice, Brian.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. Our theme song is Myths and Legends by Robert Bruckmeyer, which is playing right now. Our music is by Andreas Lundström, and you can hear more of his work on the Sweden Rolls podcast. Link in the show notes. Our editor is Hannah Cheney. If you're enjoying this show, please take 2 minutes to rate and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. I know every podcast says it, but it really does make a difference and helps us continue to grow the show. Finally, remember the motto of the library. Fear gives way to knowledge. Knowledge gives way to wisdom. And wisdom gives way to the truth. Until next time.